Hi, You Can Heal family. All right, we're back again reading First Kings chapter 10. My name is Sheena. I went to upload the video and you couldn't hear it. My voice was so low. I'm not sure what happened. So I'm going to try again and trust that God will still have a good word for you and commentary and things like that. So sit tight. Here we go. First Kings chapter 10. Multiplication of wealth. When the Queen of Sheba heard of Solomon's reputation, which brought honor to the name of the Lord, she came to test him with hard questions. She arrived in Jerusalem with a large group of attendants and a great caravan of camels, loaded with spices, huge quantities of gold, and precious jewels. When she met with Solomon, they talked about everything she had on her mind, and Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was too hard for the king to explain to her. And I had said earlier when I had read this, I was thinking, like, if you're deciding to date and meet someone and you're out, bring those hard questions to that man, and ask him. And nothing should be too hard for him to explain, right? And to answer you. And if he's having a difficult time or dodging questions, let that be a red flag, right? Don't, or take that into consideration. So that's what came to mind listening to this part of the word. And then it goes on to say, when the Queen of Sheba realized how wise Solomon was, and when she saw the palace he had built, she was breathless. She was also amazed at the food on his table, the organization of his officials and their splendid clothing, the cupbearers in their robes, and the burnt offerings Solomon made at the temple of the Lord. She explained to the king, "Everything I heard in my country about your achievements and wisdom is true. I didn't believe it until I arrived here and saw it with my own eyes. Truly, I had not heard the half of it. Your wisdom and prosperity are far greater than what I was told. How happy these people must be. What a privilege for your officials to stand here day after day listening to your wisdom. The Lord your God is great indeed. He delights in you and has placed you on the throne of Israel. Because the Lord loves Israel with an eternal love, he has made you king so you can rule with justice and righteousness." Then she gave the king a gift of 9,000 pounds of gold and great quantities of spices and precious jewels. Never again were so many spices brought in as those the Queen of Sheba gave to Solomon. When Hiram's ships brought gold from Ophir, they also brought rich cargoes of almug wood and precious jewels. And almug, A-L-M-U-G, is the same as sandalwood, it says here in the commentary. The king, verse 12, used the almug wood to make railings for the temple of the Lord and the royal palace, and to construct harps and lyres for the musicians. Never before or since has there been such a supply of beautiful almug wood. King Solomon gave the Queen of Sheba whatever she asked for, besides all the other customary gifts he had so generously given. Then she and all her attendants left and returned to their own land. Each year Solomon received about 25 tons of gold. This did not include the additional revenue he received from the merchants and traders, all the kings of Arabia, and the governors of the land. King Solomon made 200 large shields of hammered gold, each containing only 15 pounds of gold. He also made 300 smaller shields of hammered gold, each containing nearly 4 pounds of gold. The king placed these shields in the palace of the forest of Lebanon. Then the king made a huge ivory throne and overlaid it with pure gold. The throne had 6 steps and a rounded back. On both sides of the seat were armrests with the figure of a lion standing on each side of the throne. Solomon made 12 other lion figures, one standing on each end of each of the 6 steps. No other throne in all the world could be compared with it. You can just close your eyes and picture this throne. all this gold and these lion figures. I mean, I can actually visualize this. All of King Solomon's drinking cups were solid gold, as were all the utensils in the palace of the forest of Lebanon. They were not made of silver, because silver was considered of little value in Solomon's day. The king had a fleet of trading ships that sailed with Hiram's fleet. Once every 3 years the ships returned, loaded down with gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. So King Solomon became richer and wiser than any other king in all the earth. People from every nation came to visit him and to hear the wisdom God had given him. Year after year, everyone who came to visit brought him gifts of silver and gold, clothing, weapons, spices, horses, and mules. So this King Solomon was rich. What do they say? Filthy rich. And that people would come from far over and just bring him things. That's pretty amazing. I mean, God kept his word to David, right? The next section is multiplication of horses. Solomon built up a huge force of chariots and horses. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horses. He stationed many of them in the chariot cities and some near him in Jerusalem. The king made silver as plentiful in Jerusalem as stones, and valuable cedar wood was as common as the sycamore wood that grows in the foothills of Judah. Solomon's horses were imported from Egypt and from Cilicia. The king's traders acquired them from Cilicia at the standard price. At that time, Egyptian chariots delivered to Jerusalem could be purchased for 600 pieces of silver, and horses could be bought for 150 pieces of silver. Many of these were then resold to the kings of the Hittites and the kings of Aram. So yeah, King Solomon was not lacking for anything. The other time I read this, and I think it's worth saying, it's kind of pulling something out of context a little bit, but it just stands out to me how the Queen of Sheba, when she came to see the king and seek out what he was up to and all she'd heard about him, she had something to offer him, upon leaving. She gave spices and precious jewels and things like that and left him. And it's kind of like, if you're thinking about dating or being in a relationship, put yourself in a position to have, something to offer, just keep working on yourself, I guess, and growing and keep, healing and being the best person that you can be. So when you do enter into that relationship after you've worked on yourself, you have something to bring to it, besides your beautiful self, right? Like, something to offer. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And I look at my own situation and, there's things I need to accomplish and things I want to accomplish and take care of, before moving on to that next phase of my life. So that's what came up for me. That's what I was thinking about. So hopefully this video, the sound is better and you can hear this video. So I'll try to upload it now for you. For me, I'm pretty excited. I got a lot going on tonight. My daughter is leaving for college. So as you're listening to this, we're getting ready to get on the road and drop her off. So my little blessing will be gone. So I'm excited for her, though. She's super nervous. So keep blessing in your prayers. If you made it to the end of this video, please pray for her. And I'll keep you updated on how she's doing. Always remember that true healing begins with self-love. Why?
Why? Because God is love and He lives on the inside of you.
Okay, you're going to scare the people.
Sorry.
Hi. That was Bryn.
I just cried.
Oh, why?
Because of Sissy.
Oh,
because I realized that she was leaving. I knocked on the door and I went and I saw everything was packed away. And I'm like, why are you only wearing a sports bra and sweatpants? And she's like, because this is all I have. I have nothing else to wear.
Oh,
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
And it started, and it hit me that she's leaving.
I was just telling the You Can Heal family that we're taking off in the morning. All right, you guys. So let me try to upload this for you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be in touch. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye.